but in a few minutes. It is a combination of magic, hypnotic suggestion, and theater. No mind control at all. To participate on stage, you will need to be able to concentrate and follow stage directions and be able to use your strong, creative imagination. Coming on stage means you understand this and agree to a video release of the show. Now would be a good time to check that your cell phone is turned off. If you are ready for a unique audience participation event, listen closely.
Not our time and space, but a perception. In a few minutes, you will be able to come on stage, where through the power of your mind, time, space, and even reality will be suspended. You're about to see hypnosis, the magic of your imagination. Please have a big welcome to Master Hypnotist Ray Thompson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Watch this. On the count of 3, that bottle of water is going to begin to rise. With a little bit of luck, and focused by you and me, it's going to go all the way to the roof. Maybe. It's up to you. Watch it. On 3. 1, 2. Wouldn't that be a neat trick if it worked? How many of you were expecting that to actually start to float up? Probably most of you. Hey, you think that sounds bad now? You should have been here about 2 hours ago when it was right across here and about twice as hot. Expectation. You've seen things like that happen, either in magic shows on TV or in real life, where something came and floated. That's an expectation that your mind, you created that yourself. Those of you that come up here will create your own version of reality. I like to theme my shows. I like to travel, so it's always usually around travel to some exotic place. If you come up here, I should say when. I know everybody's going to want to, right? Just to get out of the sun. Your active, rational mind that's evaluating what I'm saying right now will always know you're seated there in those metal chairs. But if you loan me your imagination, I can alter your perception of reality enough you're going to be on the beach in Hawaii. And that may be the only way you can afford to go this year. So we're going up. Now, what do I mean by altered perceptions of reality? Do any of you school kids, or those not in school anymore when you were in school, did you ever look out the window and wish you were somewhere else and for the next 45 minutes you were? How many of you adults have been driving down the interstate, putting the car on cruise, your brain on cruise, and you go 100 miles and you don't know a thing you saw, right? Of course, I know it's Nebraska, it's all cornfield. It's all the same anyway. Now, how many times have you lost track of time daydreaming? All of those are examples of you altering your perception of reality, and it is hypnosis. What I know how to do is how to do on purpose, for a purpose, what you do all the time. As I explained to the other group, it is a numbers game. One-on-one with me in a private room where we control the environment. We got the AC on. The fan out there is not on full blast. And I can take the time to answer your questions and change the trance if it's not working for you. Over 90% of you can go into trance very easily. It always works. Up here, obviously we're not in control of anything. So it's the reverse of that, about 10%. So look at the size of this audience. I actually have more chairs up here than probably will be filled, and definitely more chairs than people will go into trance. But we're still going to do it. An example, what do I mean by altered perceptions? I'll give you a concrete example right now. Your perception of what I'm holding in my hand here is 3 white cup rows. And there's no rubber. Pull on that. Pull on the other one. I'm trying to pull them both up. Yeah, and this one. Yeah, they don't stretch, right? Now, but I'm going to ask you, is that reality? Or is that just your perception of reality? Thank you. Now, you do it all the time, like I say, accidentally. But you got to be able to follow directions. This is the theater of the mind. I'm the stage director. It's my job to make you look good and cast you in roles of people who won an all-expense first-class trip to the Hawaiian Islands. So, follow directions. Put your right hands up in the air. Anybody's not doing it, it's not having fun, or maybe they don't have a right hand, I don't know. First test, remove your right from your left. No, we're not realistic, guys. Come on. Now, stretch your fingers wide. You love the Scottsbluff County Fair, right? Make a nice big L. Nice big L, and if you will, touch your thumb and forefinger. Thumb and forefinger together, make a circle or an A-OK sign, some people call it. Now, look at yours, make sure it's pretty, you're on video. Now look up here at mine, and if you would, please, place yours right here on your chin. Don't both your hands, look how many people don't know where their chins are. That is not your chin. That is your chin. Yeah, it's to get you to laugh at yourselves, not take it so seriously, but also to show you something about group psychology, which is what I have to use up here. Go with a group. I obviously knew most of you would do as I did because I know from research that I've read that about 73% of any given group is made up of people who are primarily visual learners. Lesson for that for supervisors and parents out there. About 25% of any given group is made up of people who are primarily auditory learners. You're the ones that did this and wondered what was going on with these people. Then there's about 7 to 9% that you don't do anything. You're the kinesthetic. It didn't feel right, so you didn't do it. Well, I suspect some of those just don't follow directions very well. They probably don't play well in groups either. Now, but just because you can go into trance doesn't mean you're entertaining. Some people go so deep, they're out there in La La Land. They're on the beach, but they don't move a muscle, so it's not much fun for you guys. Follow along with this. I'll teach you how to do it afterwards. I don't know if you would see me a little better. I'll tell you how this works afterwards, and you can have some fun with your friends. Put your hands together like this, fingers interlocked, palms touching. Now, this will not work if you look at other people. So focus on me and yourself. I want you to raise your forefingers, your pointing fingers, and separate them by 1/4 of an inch, and look at them and imagine a rubber band around the tips, pulling them together. Try to see the color of the rubber band, but more importantly, feel it. Feel it beginning to pull those tips together. Feel it pulling your fingers together. Looking at others disrupts them and you too as it comes together. Closer and closer, closer and closer. The stronger your mind, the stronger the rubber band. Closer, closer, closer until they touch, and once they touch, they begin to lock down. Locking down tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So tight that on the count of 3, 3, you can try to pull the tips of your fingers apart, but they don't want to come apart. 1, 2, 3, tighter and tighter, 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 until I clap my hands and they come easily apart. No, I didn't take possession of your fingers. It's a trick. It's a physiological trick. If you follow directions, fingers interlocked, palms touching, it's hard to pull those 4 fingers up because of the way muscles and tendons are attached to the bone. And if you only have them a 1/4 of an inch apart, and I can divert your attention for a moment talking about the rubber bands up there, those tendons and muscles will start to pull it back together. The only way it won't work is if you don't want it to. Same thing up here. If you don't want it to work, it won't. The opposite of that, I'm sorry to say, is if you try to make it work. If you work at it, it won't work because you're using your active mind. What you need to do is just start to daydream. Let me create pictures for you. Now, I hate to say this, you have to be a teenager to come up. It's not that non-teens cannot be hypnotized. They can. But the two don't mix well on stage, the 2 techniques. Besides that, who wants to see you do something silly up here? All I got to do is look out in the backyard. Besides that, it keeps me out of trouble with grandmothers. Okay? But I do want to get as many people up here as want to try it. You don't have to believe in it. And if we don't have anybody but the non-teens left in the audience, that's fine. We'll have fun in Hawaii. So, you want to try it? Come on up, grab a chair. Let's get the show on the road. Let's go. We got to fill the seats on our airplane.
I want to go back to my little ranch shack in Kealakekua, Hawaii. I want to be with all the colonies and Mahinis that I used to know. I can hear the old guitars playing on the beach of Onauna. I can hear the old Hawaiian saying,
we still got some seats left on the aircraft.
We'll be sailing back to Kona. It's a brand old place that's always there to see. I'm just a little Hawaiian and I'm homesick all alone. I want to go back to my fishing boat. I want to go back to my little ranch shack in Kealakekua, Hawaii, where the hula swimming by, where the hula swimming by.
I know she's not going to the bathroom. It's a lady going by herself, so we know she's not going there. Well, these are the only ones that are going to have fun this afternoon. Well, you will too, but they'll have a lot more fun, I promise you that. Now, this is the theater of the mind. And in the theater, you applaud, yell, and scream to let the actors and actresses know they're doing a good job. So, come on, you got to make up for nobody being here this afternoon. Let them know you're glad they volunteered to come up here to entertain you. Keep doing that. The more you do, the more they'll do. Now, I've got to turn my back as a director, so please forgive me. My guest on stage, as guest should be treated. Nobody barks like a dog, clucks like a chicken. It's not in the script. Young people, you do this all the time in school. You put yourselves in a light trance. Every afternoon, about 2 o'clock, you look out the window, wishing you were somewhere else. Of course, some adults do that in our cubicles too. And for the next 45 minutes, don't you go somewhere else often? Until that English teacher comes over and goes, Mr. So-and-so, you know, right? He's the type, I can tell. But we really seriously, we all are. We all are. You've been driving down the highway and realized you've driven 25 miles without any clue of what you were looking at. They call that highway hypnosis. What I know how to do is how to bring that about on purpose, for a purpose. Now, as I said a while ago, one-on-one, it's real easy to do. In fact, as few of you as there are, let's try something a little different. Rather than a group session, why don't you come over here, I'll get a little closer. And, yeah, just move over right like that. Everybody, what I want you to do, just so you can focus, not be worried about everything. I want you, in just a moment, I'm going to have you close your eyes. Just focus on your breathing and the beat of the music I'm going to put on. There's nothing magical about the music. It's written by a musical therapist with some of the most suggestions to relax you physically. I'm going to come along to each one of you, work with you individually very quickly. All right? So, once your eyes go closed, please do not open them again until I ask you to. Don't analyze, just focus on your breathing. If you decide for whatever reason you don't want to play anymore, that's fine. Open your eyes, but don't excuse yourself. Let me make sure you're clear. We are up on a stage with safety reasons. Is that fair enough? Okay. Everybody, if you will, take a nice deep breath and let your eyelids go closed. Keep them closed till I come back to each one of you. Just focus on your breathing and the beat of the music. Focus on your breathing and the beat of the music. Don't think about anything else but your breathing and the beat of the music. Or we'll leave you behind. A couple of you I've worked with before, it's even easier for you. Austin. guest on stage, there's a part of your mind that never goes into trance. It never goes to sleep. It's there to protect you. As long as the sounds of this fairgrounds are safe sounds, those sounds will take you even deeper. A couple of you play too much like school kids. Imagine for me that all of the tension, tightness in your face, all those muscles around your eyes, your eyelids, the muscles around your jaw, mouth, all those muscles on the count of 3 are just emptying all of the tension, relaxing them totally, just as if that tension was turning to a liquid like water, flowing down, flowing down. 3, 2, 1. Flowing down out of your face, flowing down out of your neck, flowing down, flowing down out of your shoulders. Just visualize it, imagine it. Out of your chest, down your back, just flowing down past your waist, down your legs, flowing down. Now if you will, just allow your mind to go checking through your body, finding any tightness, any little sore knot or anything like that. As it does, it just disintegrates, making you feel so good, so wonderful. You can always know everything that's going on. You can hear everything, but as long as it's safe sounds, those sounds make you even more comfortable, feeling even better than you do now. And every time the audience claps, each and every time they clap, that clapping is for you and the good job you're doing, and it relaxes you even more. Show them what I mean, audience. Send them way down deep. Now, my guest on stage, in the theater, we have auditions for parts in the theater of the mind. So, if you will, on the count of 3, loan me your imaginations and imagine that one of your arms is a limb of a mighty oak tree. I want you to stick it straight out in front of you, making a fist and make it strong. 1, 2, 3. The stronger your mind, the stronger your arm, the stronger your mind, the deeper you go, the better you feel. Just imagine and feel the weight of the snow coming on it. Just keep it from coming down. So strong are you, so strong is that, oh, so strong, very good, wonderful. You're doing a great job. The smarter you are, the better your focus, the better job you do. Now, imagine that arm has just become the trunk of a mighty oak tree on the prairie, stretching for the sun. 1, 2, 3. Higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher. So high, so strong, so strong, so strong. Very good, yeah, very good, very good, very good. Oh, wonderful. You're wonderful, perfect. Now, imagine that I've just strung a steel cable in front of that arm. On the count of 3, you can try to bring that arm down, but it hits that cable and bounces right back up. 1, 2, 3. Just try. Yeah, just let that cable bouncing right back up. Now, on 3, let it relax and go down even deeper. 1, 2, 3, sleep. The individual who's getting a number right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have passed the audition from the theater of the mind. On the count of 3, you can sit up, eyes still closed, still deeply relaxed. From this moment forward, you're playing parts in the theater of mind of a group of Scottsbluff County Fair attendees who won an all-expense first-class trip to the Hawaiian Islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Placing in your laps right now a set of virtual reality goggles connected to my computer back here to help you play your parts in the theater of the mind and visualize our trip to Hawaii. If you will, on the count of 3, eyes still closed, deep in trance, put your goggles on and find yourself seated in the first class compartment of our luxury jetliner preparing for takeoff. And because this is virtual reality, there's no fear of flying or heights. 1, 2, 3. Show me your imaginations, yes. This is a captain speaking. Attendants, prepare the cabin for takeoff. Seatbelts fastened? Hawaii, here comes Scottsbluff. Liftoff. Very smooth.
So kiss me and smile. Tell me that you'll wait. Hold me like
Yes, and for those of you that have never flown first-class jet service before, allow me to point out some of the niceties to you. In addition to that extra comfortable seat that you have that makes you feel so good, so pampered, on the back of the seat in front of you there's an LCD monitor to help you pass time flying across the Pacific Ocean. On the count of 3, if you touch it, it is a DVD player playing any movie you want. But listen, it's also a Nintendo, an Xbox, a PlayStation, and we have upgraded to 3D. So if you want to play games, grab the controls. 1, 2, 3. Grab the controls. Enjoy first-class service. And speaking of first-class service, here they come with drinks for you. Adults are getting any kind of drink you want. Just reach out and take it. We have highballs. We got beer from all over the world. We got Montreal champagne. Yes, we do. For the teenagers, we've got soda pop, we've got juices, we have Starbucks too. So if you want that special latte, just reach out and take it. I paid for it. It's all free. It's all free. Just take anything you want. Play your games. Play your games. Enjoy first-class service. And you're doing wonderful. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. They say when you're having fun, time does fly. The captain tells me that Diamond Head and Waikiki Beach are in sight. So if you would please, drink down your drink, pass up any empty cups, papers, anything you want to get rid of. Please check your seatbelts and prepare the cabin for landing. 3, 2, 1, sleep. All this applause is for you. Sit them down, ladies and gentlemen. The more noise you make, the better. My guest on stage, I said this was first class. We have rented high-performance sports cars, motorcycles, and what have you for you. And because this is virtual reality, even those of you that have never driven before will find that you can drive these virtual reality vehicles. We have Lamborghinis, Ferraris, we've got Corvettes. Look at the size of the tires on that pickup truck. Oh my gosh. And look at the Harley-Davidson motorcycles. On the count of 3, please find your favorite high-performance choice of vehicles. Climb on or in and get them started. 1, 2, 3. Watch out for the speed bumps going out of the parking lot there. State, Nebraska. 80, 85. It's not Wyoming either. Let's have some fun. 90 miles an hour. Oh, you're good at this virtual reality stuff. You good people always are. 85, 90 miles an hour. 95, 96, 97, 98. Can you get up to 100? Are you good enough? 99. 100 miles an hour. You did it. Oh, you are good. You are really good. Uh-oh, you can't outrun a short wave. Let's pull it over. Yes, officer, Scottsbluff, Nebraska. White, we're the winners of that trip, and he's our escort. He's here to escort us to the beach. Oh, he says that he's retiring on Monday, and he doesn't want to lose his pension, but he'll take a chance that we'll help him with a book he's writing. It seems that the chapter on crazy excuses for speeding, the hard drive crashed. He's got to rebuild it by tomorrow for his editor. Yes, sir, I'll be glad to ask him for you, sir. Gang, keep in mind, 30 years on the force, he's heard some good ones. Let's start right here with you. You ought to know better. What's your excuse, lady?
No, I was just cruising. Sorry. I didn't know how fast I was going.
What denial, huh? Oh, he's not smiling yet. Have you got an excuse? La La Land. I was telling the early arrivals about that. Young lady, what have you got to say for yourself? How come you were going so fast? He's got an emergency. He's going to leave you right here at the entrance to our luxury resort beach hotel. On the count of 3, you are on the beach, being waited on hand and foot. 1, 2, 3. Sit back in those chairs and enjoy first class service. Just enjoy. Yes. Oh. Hey, I got everybody get sunburned. Hold out your hands on that tanning lotion. Here, rub it in. Rub it in. The more you rub, the better it feels. The better it feels, the more you rub. Just rub it all in. Rub it all in. And here they come, the traditional working ladies. The bodybuilders are bringing them to the ladies. And the beautiful girls in the thong bikinis are bringing them to the guys. Just smell those. Just smell. Oh, she smelled it already. Just smell that. Look at the abs on that guy. Look at his abs. Wow. My goodness. And guys, some of you are too young to look at those thong bikinis, I'll tell you. Just smell those. Oh, my goodness. They smell so good. They really, really do. On the count of 3, the individual whose shoulder I'm touching right now, you're going to open your eyes, stand up, and be introduced to that bodybuilder that brought you that late. And yes, he is the finalist of the Mr. Hawaii contest. You're going to be so happy and so excited to be here in Hawaii that you just can't say your first name. That first name just doesn't come out. The harder you try, the more difficult it is. 1, 2, 3. Stand up here. I want you to meet our escort. He's Mr. Hawaii this year, but he'll be with us at all times. By the way, I didn't get your first name. Is this Well, that can explain. We're going to name tag and everything else. And you like his autograph and such? Yeah, okay, we'll get right on it. Hey, it was just you're over 18. I can legally offer you be my second and give you some of the cash to pay for things when I'm not around. Is that all right? Okay. They do say I have to give you a little test though. Is that all right? All right. On the count of 3, the number 6 is temporarily gone. 1, 2, 3. 2 plus 2?
4.
And 4 plus 4?
8.
8. Oh, let's just do one more, okay? I don't know, 3 plus 3? Oh, count out loud from 1 to 10 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Maybe if you count your fingers, I really need your help.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can you count them for her? 6. How about if you count hers?
2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe if you sit down and work for a couple of minutes. This lady's going to sit down on the count of 3, but every time I ask her name, she's going to give me the name of some famous woman, rock star, actress, or something, a different one each and every time. 1, 2, 3. We'll get back to the numbers in just a moment, but you're going to be mine. You're going to help me. I want to ask you to help me out, but you look awful familiar to me. I feel like I already know you. Who are you?
Reba. Second time.
Oh, no wonder you look familiar. Oh, have a seat there. Thank you. How's the counting going?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
She's going to, on the count of 3, she's going to say that number just fine, out loud, very loud, but it's going to sound just like that number to her, but she's going to say fair, but it sounds just like that number to her. 1, 2, 3. Keep working on it. My guest on stage, I know you didn't come here just to lay around with your eyes closed. Sleep, but we're going to sleep. Sleep. Makes you return to that. We can't come to Hawaii without going surfing. So on the count of 3, you are off to learn how to surf. You are going to absolutely learn how to swim, surf, and everything else that you need to do. 1, 2, 3, sleep. On the count of 3, my guests have graduated from surfing school as expert surfers. On the count of 3, open your eyes, till deep trance, take your boards, and show us what impressed your teachers so, because you are the best they've ever seen. 1, 2, 3. Here's the graduates of our surfing school. Show us what you can do. Show us. Stand up and get your boards. Show us, get your boards. Get your boards. Get yourself going. She's good. What was in these problems, sir? Well, skateboards, surfboards are the newest style. You didn't read that in the magazine? We sent it to everybody. You must have. You know, I didn't want to tell you guys this, but I have just contracted the top hula instructor in the Pacific Rim. For all along, he won the Pacific Rim Coaches Championship. Has gone to his head, I think. I got a 1, 2, 3. Shows what you.
You wanna dance, hula, like the ladies do. You wanna learn.
Come on, you want to learn to do it right. Just do what he does.
Use your hands to describe the scene.
Describe the scene.
To explain the words of the law. Like the ship out on the ocean.
Oh, there's good. You guys are good.
Yes, the moon will go on naturally. Before you dance, hula, it is wise to do without.
I think they've got it. I think they've got it, don't you? Yeah.
About you, that's the one thing you should never do. Now within with you is hard to stand.
Yeah.
You bend your knees and look in the air.
Oh, he's good.
With a smile means that the rest of you will be leaving. You have learned to do the hula hula.
I think they've got it. Isn't he good? He's marvelous. But grab a seat there. Grab a seat. I just want to let you know that I have entered you in a contest. You get $100. No, it's not a wet t-shirt. We got too much trouble last time. It's an ice cream cone licking contest for $100. Now, the rules are you can't start until I say go, and you can't bite. Hear that? All right. On the count of three, in your hands is your favorite choice of ice cream. 1, 2, 3. Grab the cones. On your mark. Get set. Go. We got some liquor there. We got some champion liquors here. We got some side liquors, top liquors. Look at them lick. Look at them go. They are great. Oh, they're good. Oh, they're good. Look at them. Look at them here. They are marvelous. Oh, and stop. Hold out your cones. Hold out your cones there. Show them. Oh, my goodness. The judges say they can't make up their minds. Everybody wins $100. $100 for everybody. Just throw your cones over back. Just throw It's almost luau time, and I didn't want to tell you this until I was sure. There is a new version of American Idol being filmed right here in the islands. They're going to go all over, but we're starting here. It's the American Idol Lip Sync Championships. And I've got us backstage passes and even an entry for song. So, right now, you feel good? Watch my hand. You feel even better. 3, 2, 1, send them way down deep. Show them you appreciate what they're doing out here. Ladies and gentlemen, when we have a big audience to choose from and a lot more people, we also have the judges. And they're sometimes funnier than the participants. But with the hour getting late and the small number, we're going to give everybody a chance to win $20,000 cash in the American Lip Sync Championships. On the count of 3. The individual whose shoulder I'm tapping right here. You are our first entry in the American Lip Sync Championships for $20,000. Everybody else on the count of 3 will sit up, open your eyes. You're in the band to back her up. Pick up your favorite choice of instruments and begin playing them on 3. 1, 2, 3. Our first contestant, lip syncing Beyonce. your
Well,
favorite?
here you go, because I got extra.
My stars on stage can play any part I give them. Regardless of their music choice, he is a mighty actor on the count of three. Playing his part in the theater of the mind, taking on the lip sync as Mr. Kenny Chesney. 1, 2, 3. Show the judges. Show the judges. On the count of three, he is Justin Bieber. 1, 2, 3. Show it you. I think Justin moves around a little more than that, don't you? All right, Mr. Justin Bieber, have a seat there. Have a seat.
Yeah, that's just his
On the count of three, her eyes will open as the one and only, the #1 recording female in the world today. Please welcome the star of your show, Lady Gaga. 1, 2, 3.
Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on the disco stick. Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a
And
ride on the
numbers,
disco
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I wanna kiss you. But if I do, then I might miss you, babe. It's complicated and stupid. Got my ass squeezed by sexy Cupid. Guess he wants to play, wants to play. I love game, I love game. I love me, just wanna touch you for a minute. Maybe 3 seconds is enough. This beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Don't think too much, just bust that stick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Let's
I usually end it earlier than this, but these three ladies down there are having way too much fun with this. Lady Gaga! How's the tour been?
Great.
Everything to your satisfaction?
Yeah, we're having a great time.
How's the band doing?
They're awesome.
Anything for our fairgoers?
Hey, just had a great time.
All right. Well, have a seat. Have a seat there. All my guys go on stage. Take a nice deep breath. 3, 2, 1, sleep. On the count of three, they're going to open their eyes, sit up, and realize that I have found on the beach here somebody everybody knows. And you know Stewie is not a real nice guy. Everything Stewie does, they do. will be wide awake, feeling incredibly good, with no embarrassment for anything they did on stage. After all, they were actors, actresses in the theater of the mind. Knowing that none of my silly suggestions work off of this stage. The only thing you can take off stage is how good you feel. My friend right here, my young friend whose shoulder I'm touching, when he goes to pick up his head, he's going to find that it doesn't fit him as long as he's on stage. It's too big, it's too small, it's something. It just doesn't fit. These three young ladies right here whose shoulder I'm tapping, every time I say Iowa, every time I say Iowa, they're going to stand up and yell, "Shut up, Baldy." I think it's very funny. My young friend Austin here, when he opens his eyes, every time I say hypnosis is going to demand to know when is the show going to start. He doesn't think it's started yet. He's rather upset with me because I promised him a trip to Hawaii. He doesn't remember a thing. Is she here with somebody tonight? Just a girl's night out? Yeah, I got something I do with a boyfriend or husband. And she's a good candidate. So I get to have all the fun. Shoulder I'm touching right now. Only this person right here, when I say Texas, but only when I say Texas, you're going to realize that clean-shaven, bald-headed men have a certain amount of swafel, and you're going to rub your fingers all over the closest bald head. Beat your heart out, guys. It's my show. On the count of 3, 5, wide awake, feeling incredibly good. 1, 2, take a nice deep breath. 3, 4, fully alert, fully awake, in charge of everything physically, mentally, emotionally. 5, to a thunderous round of applause. Didn't they do a nice job out here, all this wind and sun? You guys were great. Yeah. Did you enjoy the trip to Hawaii? Nobody got sunburned or anything? Yeah. And, anybody enjoy hypnosis? Did you like being hypnotized this time? Yeah? And, what? Does it fit? You sure? What? I don't know either. I did drive all the way in yesterday from Iowa, and, what have we got against Iowa?
Shut up, Baldy.
It's just about being hypnotized, right? Yeah. And, you enjoyed the show, right? You didn't? You didn't enjoy the show? I told you we'd go to Hawaii. Yeah. Really? It's better than going to Texas. On the count, boy, Dirk, I wish I'd known how to do this when I was 16. Those pimples would have been even bigger. On the count of 3, she's going to realize what she's really doing. 1, 2, 2.5. Don't you guys have a rubber ducky race or something? 2 7/8. 2 9/10. I hate when they snicker like that. My guest on stage is that. What are you complaining about now? I didn't do anything to your hat.
You did, didn't you?
What's it?
Right.
It takes a little while for some people. But as I drop my hair, oh, by the way, everybody out there, in about 12 minutes, your favorite country cousins, a Sweetie, well, that's their band. The Sweetie Family Band will be back out here. Your favorite country cousins with comedy and some really good bluegrass. So hang loose, you'll be entertained as you're doing everything else. sure get a lot of food from these vendors. They work hard. As I drop my hand, you're totally released from all of my suggestions, remembering everything you did, everything you said in living color. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You look like somebody famous, right? Do I know you?
Reba, Spectrum.
Oh, okay. On three. 1, 2, 3. All this applause is for you and the wonderful job you did.